We're live. Make sure it's on video. It's on video.
Start the timer.
All right. Boom. Boom, baby. All right, dude.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. So we're coming into this with absolutely no game plan. Basically, this is going to be just our most off the hip, and we want to do this on purpose.
Right.
So if you're looking for something structured and organized and thought out to Eddie, no,
This is not it.
This is not it. Yeah, save your time. This is not it. But so we got dinner and drinks last night,
Mm-hmm.
and when we were talking about it, we're like, so what are we gonna talk about, right?
Yep.
And we were like, maybe we should go into this one like intentionally with like no plan.
Right. Because we were throwing around ideas and we were like, nah.
Yeah, we just weren't feeling it,
Mhm.
right? There wasn't any specific topic that we were really feeling.
Exactly.
So, so we're like, what about like one idea that we tossed around was like, what about like what we can control and what we can't control and how to react to those two, okay?
Yep.
So, wake up this morning, right?
Yeah.
9:30.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like 1:30 in the afternoon, right? It's like 2 in the afternoon right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of time. This is the only thing I have. I got work tonight, but this is the only thing I got on the docket. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, wake up, boom, stretch, take a shower, brush my teeth,
Get ready for the
turn on
day.
a podcast, like, boom, doing dishes, start a load of laundry.
Yeah.
I'm prepping food in my air fryer for dinner, this and this and this. Baking breakfast, I got all my vitamins in. Like, everything is just squared away. Plenty of time. I got 2 hours before you even show up. I was like, man, I might even turn on some football in the background while I listen to my podcast. You know what I mean? I'll have all the lights and the camera and everything set up.
Yeah, totally ready.
I redo some of the fixtures in here
Yep.
to make it more aesthetic for the, like, okay, I got plenty of time, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, look at my clock. I just get my breakfast done. Air fryer's shutting down for dinner. Breakfast is getting done, so I pull that off the heat, turn off the heat. Washer's about to be done, so I go right downstairs to flip it over the dryer. Instinctively, lock door, close behind me. Oh. So what that means, basically, to give this some context, is...
Okay, now I understand.
Yes. Yeah. So when Sam showed up today, nothing was set up. I'm hopping in the shower, which, like I said, I already took a shower today.
Yeah.
So I'm taking a second shower. Like, nothing's set up, which usually when you get here, pretty much everything's set up most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
So, boom. I know for certain that 2 of my 3 neighbors left for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Which means I might have one neighbor here. Don't see their car here. Probably not here. So, no neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
Doors locked.
Yeah.
Car keys, apartment keys, phone, wallet, all in apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just dressed in my pajamas.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's fall. It's getting a little cold. I've got socks and slippers on, which is kind of nice. Shorts, no underwear. Because it's Saturday morning, dude. Let's be real. And a sweater. No undershirt. I look like a bum.
Right.
I look like a bum because I am a bum.
You're not ready for you're not like going out for the day.
I am not. Yeah. Yes, I'm showered.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm clean. But like, I'm not there.
Yeah.
So for the next hour and a half, go to the car. Got a spare set of keys in the car. Boom. Car's locked. Don't have the car keys, right? Luckily, I smoked a cigar a little bit in my car last night and I wanted to air it out, so I left the windows open a little bit.
Hey, there you go.
Go into my garage, crack this log in half, like this branch, go in, unlock it, control it, alarm starts going off, brr, brr, brr. All my neighbors are like staring, like, what the fuck's going on?
Trying to break into your own car.
Yeah, so I pop the hood, I'm trying to disconnect the positive terminal, not fucking working,
No.
Anyway, alarm goes off, that's cool. Go in, look in my center console, keys aren't there. I lent them out to Gary and Kibby when I thought I was going to California.
Yep.
So I was like, Eric, if you need to use my camera, I think they still have it. That or I have them somewhere. Yeah, don't know. Don't know that, okay? This is like noon now. So like you won't be here for like an hour, another hour and a half. And I don't know if you're going to like call
Right.
And be like, are we doing it? Are we doing it? And if I don't respond, you're like, okay, we're not doing it,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then, it's like, oh my God. So then I got to walk. I got to go find a phone.
Yep.
There's no way I live upstairs. There's no way I can get into my window because I got windows that are cracked open.
Devoid of having tools for it.
And that was on the docket of my plans. Like, if I can get up to that window.
Yeah, you can break in, right?
But there's literally, just the way the building is set up, there's no ability to climb.
No.
It's really...
You would need a ladder.
You would need something to get up. There's no ladder on here. This is an apartment complex. Nobody owns a ladder.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not only that, my neighbors are gone. You know what I mean? I know my landlord has a spare set of keys.
But you don't have a phone to call?
Yep, and I don't have a neighbor who has their number. You know? So I have to walk in. Luckily, everything's pretty close. Walk half a mile to a gas station.
Yep.
Kid working there is fucking awesome. Got to bring him some money. Got to bring him a tip. Able to contact this locksmith. They come, let me in, blah, blah, blah. And then that was like 5 minutes before you got here.
Oh my goodness.
That's why everything was up. But the whole point of this, is this day was completely in my control.
Yeah, dude.
And I was killing it. I was killing it.
You were ready for the day.
Boom. Yep. And then 2 hours later, not in control at all.
Nope.
Like seemingly.
Right.
Seemingly.
Right.
You
have moves you can make. Yes. But none of them are the ones you want to make.
And you know what? And there was a spot in there, there was like a 5-minute window in there where I was starting to get a little upset. I was starting to get a little frustrated. Like, come on, looking outwards. I wasn't taking full responsibility, and I was being like a little bit like what? Why did this happen to me? Like, and it wasn't like extravagant. It wasn't really bad, but there was about 5 minutes in there where I was just starting to lose focus of reality and starting to find an area that I could place blame.
Yes.
And then, as I'm walking down the road in my pajamas,
which is amazing, by the way,
everyone driving by is staring at me like, man, this city's going to hell. You know what I mean? Just walking. Breeze is beautiful. The leaves are beautiful right now.
It's actually a nice day too, so it's not even that bad.
Yeah, and I was like, A, gorgeous day. B, man, it's just nice to walk outside. C, nobody cares.
No.
And going back to how you and I are trying to find a topic to talk about, it's like, like if it's not in your control, it makes no sense to get upset about it.
That's true. It's much easier said than done, though, right? Yeah. Like how easy is it? Like you just laid out a perfect example, but how easy is it to just get like wildly upset over things that are slightly out of your control, and then focus on all the things you could have done to change that?
Yeah.
It's like living in that past context is not going to bring right now any better, right? So just changing your attitude to let go of that control is amazing, man.
But yeah, and like in that scenario, there's only a few things I could do. One was wait, potentially indefinitely for you to arrive.
Right.
2 would be start knocking on doors. 3 would be walk to a business.
Yep.
Like those are literally my only 3 options.
Yeah, entirely.
And as soon as I was like, okay, those are my options, I'm choosing the one I want to do, which is go to a business. And as soon as I started doing that, it was like, okay, I'm doing everything I can do. And I was actually happy. I was like, okay, this is going to cost me some money. But it's not like no one's life's in danger. My life's not in danger. No one else's life's in danger.
Oh, entirely.
I'm not going to lose my life savings.
Right.
My car's not about to get rolled over. It's like, It's like when you realize like what it is compared to everything, and you start doing what you can actually do. It's like there's no reason to be upset. It's just like.
Yeah, I think what you just laid out there is actually extremely useful. 1 second. So I realized over the course of the last 3 months or so, there have been a bunch of challenges that I had to overcome, or at least look at and deal with, right? Opening that closet to look at the dragon and deal with it. And the most intimidating part of that, it coincides with where you're going, is getting frustrated and upset about that thing. If you just take the time and think it through, maybe run through every scenario that you could potentially see, worst case, best case, something in the middle. And when you do that, it's going to bring you a bit of peace doing so. Like I had to have this confrontation that I was really dreading, not wanting to do it at all, but it was something I knew I had to do. And it was just terrifying. I Had no desire to do it. Inside of me, I'm like, this is the worst thing I have to do at all. And I don't know why I was getting so worried about it, because when I stopped, it took 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes to go, okay, I'm freaking out. I know I need to do this regardless, so it's going to happen. Knowing that it's going to happen, what's the worst case scenario? I'm going to do this. This is going to be my response. Oh, that's about the worst that can happen, is right there. And even if that's the worst that can happen, that's not bad at all. What's realistically probably going to happen? Oh, it's probably going to go like this. I'm going to say these things. It's going to go this direction, and we're going to end up like this. And I'm like, wow, that makes it so much easier to deal with. I don't know if that's necessarily in our control, but it's good. You can't control the outcome, but you can control the inputs to whatever you're facing to deal with it and handle the outcome as it happens. Just thinking that through. I like that. That's good.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, you truly only have control over yourself.
Yeah.
You can persuade. You can have effect on.
You can influence things, for sure.
Influence, yep. And the strength of your influence will vary.
For sure.
Depending on the scenario.
It kind of depends on the capital you have in that avenue of influence. So if it's in a friendship, or if it's a brand new person you've never met, or if it's at work, whatever it is, kind of depends on, I've heard it phrased, your leadership capital. Doesn't really, we can call it whatever you want. Your investment capital into whatever that scenario is will determine how much influence you actually have over scenario. Yep.
But once you have expended that resource, the final say, like let's say you're dealing with a human being, for example.
Yep.
There's only so much control you have.
Minimal, right?
And it's quite minimal. Yep. And the more loving you are, the more control you're going to have, because the more trust they put into you.
Yes.
And the less you're going to want to control them, But when it comes down to it, it's like there's a lot of things that you just have no control over. And like you said, the only thing you can really control is how you internalize it, how you react. You're
controlling your own responses to things, as well as the inputs that you have to whatever scenario it is. You have no control on outcomes. Like, you could do everything the way that you think you should be doing things, right? Like, I'm going to do this, then this, and this, and this is going to be my outcome. And it's like, yeah, there's a few things where, like, say you're cooking a meal. Yeah, you can control that to have your outcome be that way. But also, you can screw one of those things up and not have the outcome you're aiming at. It's all about your inputs. That's why when people are aiming at, like, goals, one thing that's actually extremely useful, let's take weight loss. It's a really common goal. I want to lose 20 pounds. That's a harder thing to achieve. It's not hard in the sense that you can't do it. It's just the wrong aim. Not that it's a bad aim. What you should be more focused on is your inputs towards that goal. Like, yeah, you obviously want to lose some weight, but you should be like, I want to eat healthier in this manner for the next whatever amount of time, or change my diet to focus on this, and I want to start working out. Those are your inputs to get the result that you're looking for. Because if you focus on the result alone, you're not going to take time to focus on the inputs. Yeah, you should, right? Like, they should coincide. This is my end goal, therefore I'm going to do these things. You don't have control over your end goal. Yeah, you probably will lose some weight if you do all of your inputs correct, but your end goal is not the aim, it's your inputs need to shift.
Yeah. I mean, do you want a quick little fix that will expire at some point? Or do you want an overall change?
Right. Short term and long term, man.
Short term and long term. Exactly.
It's kind of just like, what are you focusing on in life? Are you focusing on short term and long term is good, but what is that fruit in life? I'm trying to think. I have a direction in my mind, and I'm trying to think how to articulate this. It's delaying gratification. It's finding your end goal. It's having more long-term aims, more meaningful directions in your life. I find it so easy to get pulled in by instant gratification, right? And you can do that across any avenue. Whether it's you want to go out and have drinks, or you want to try to pursue a lady because you want to have sex or something, right? Like, you want that instant gratification. It's like, no. Is that the right choice? I'm sure there are scenarios where an instant gratification is the correct choice, but that is few and far between, right? Most often it's going to be that delayed gratification, that controlling your inputs for the long-term outcome of the thing you're actually aiming at. Which, at that point, it's not like your goal is to aim at the thing. This kind of goes to the concept of the game, but individually. So, the concept of the game of games, playing it with others. But if you're playing the game by yourself, by game I mean really just how are you pursuing life? Are you aiming at the right means? Are you trying to be successful in a manner that's actually useful for you long term? So if we're aiming at those things, you have instant gratification, long-term success. What are you choosing to focus on? And the goal is not the end goal, because that's not going to be ultimately satisfying, right? Like, if I've achieved this tangible thing, I've lost 20 pounds. Great, you hit it. Now what? It's like you're probably going to relapse and go back into it unless you have a sustainable goal. The end goal is not the goal. It's the pursuing of those goals. That's your actual goal, right? Like the constant improvement, the achievements, the gratification you get from focusing on the things you should be doing and improving yourself, right? Which is a hard thing to focus on because oftentimes it's not fun, or it's not like really satisfying.
It's not as exciting.
Exactly. It doesn't stimulate that same happiness. But it will lock you out of your home.
I think from my perspective, if I could sum up what I think the point you're going at is, are you going for specific results?
Yeah.
Or a thorough life?
Mm-hmm.
A thorough means of living. You know, is your life complete? Is it like, well, my diet's squared away?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my exercise is squared away. Well, my learning is squared away. My self-improvement and relationship strengthening and building is squared away.
Mm-hmm.
My ability to meditate and focus on spirituality and the higher power that I subscribe to, is that squared away? Or, you know, is it like, and the results will come. Every single day I wake up and I make sure I do these things, and I you know, got everything where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so yes, eventually, like, maybe in this area I won't get that crazy goal that I, in my perfect world, would get.
Right.
But everything is solid and thorough.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, well, I want to get my body fat down to this percentage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then, oh yeah, I totally want to make this much money. And
yes.
It's like, then you start focusing on these things. It's like, yeah, maybe that one little shoot is, maybe you do achieve it. But in order to achieve that, you let all these other things by the wayside not be as progressed.
Right.
And it's like,
and there is some of that we have to do in life, right? Like, back to our point of balance. You're not going to have a perfectly balanced life over everything. You are not going to be the person who's in perfect health, working a wonderful job, making a great salary, with a great relationship with family and friends, who is volunteering at whatever, spending time working out, has a bunch of hobbies, reads every day, mentors people. You're not going to be that all the time. It's not physically possible. And I think one of the things that throws me off is, like, you'll see, I don't know, famous people or whatever, anybody that you look up to, and you will interpret their life as in that manner, therefore you should aim at that, but understand that realistically, they're doing it in chunks. They're doing certain things. At certain times, they're going to put all their focus into work. At certain times, they're going to put most of their focus into their family. At other times, they're going to put a lot of focus into their own health and where they're volunteering their time and whatever it is. It's like all great things, super useful. You should be able to work on some of them, make them important in your life in whatever manner you deem important, but understand you can't do all of it. You literally cannot. No matter how hard you try, there's 24 hours in a day, and if you just neglect health entirely, you can get a lot of that done for sure. Just screw sleep, man. Let's just get all the things done, but it'll ruin you in time.
yeah. Yeah, what's the longevity of it?
Right.
You know,
Yep.
is there longevity to it?
Yeah, that's why I heard somebody talk about the idea of seasons, right? So balance within your seasons of life. So really that would be, what are you aiming at right now? So like for me, I'm not aiming at a relationship right now. That's not a focus I'm going towards. I'm actively deciding I'm not going to spend my time on that. At least for a duration of time that I've decided. Which to me is a little bit alleviating. Right? Like it gives me one of those things I don't have to focus on. I'm not going to spend my time on this. I'm not going to pursue this. This gives me time to focus on other things. So I can spend my time lifting weights, or I can read books that I've been looking forward to, or I can volunteer my time in the places that I find useful, right? Like I have the time to do that. Whereas if I'm in a relationship with a woman, that's going to soak up a good chunk of my time that I would be spending elsewhere. And for right now, I'm making the active choice not to do that so that I can spend my time in other places that I need to. So, seasons of life, right? What season are you in? What are you aiming at? And what do you need to let go? What do you need to add in?
Man, that is such a great topic.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish we could go back like 20 minutes
Yeah.
and start on that.
Go right?
And you know what's crazy is like right now, I as well am not pursuing a relationship. Like I'm actively not pursuing.
Sweet.
Like to the point where if someone was like, "Hey, I kind of like you. This, you want to go on a date?" I'd be like, maybe get food, like in the afternoon and a couple drinks. But I'd like tell him like, not interested. But the point to this is, it is amazing. Like I love being in a relationship. Love it.
Yep. Same.
Love it. But man, like right now, for example, with the things that I've got coming up in my life, it's like, if it was like, okay, you can have a relationship starting right now, or you can ride out the next 6 months to a year, not in a relationship, I'd be like, man, no, like just give me another 6 months to a year off, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and we're completely off the original topic. You know, we
didn't have a topic.
This is just a rant, you know. But man, it is so awesome once. Actually, this kind of ties into the original topic.
Sure.
Understanding what you are in control of, and if you can be like, okay, I'm not in control of those 4 things, I'm in control of these 4 things, and I want these 4 things to be as good as they can be.
Yep.
What do I need to do to make sure they are? And you do that, man, it is awesome. It is awesome because you're excited. You wake up in the morning and you are excited.
Yes.
Because you've got this going on. You have to do that, and you have to do those responsibilities. But it's not a burden. It's not like I don't have the life I want. I don't. What is this person gonna love me today? Like, why can't I do? Why? It's like you don't have time to think about that. It's like I gotta get it because I decided I wanted that 6 months ago, and I've been working my butt off for it. And guess what? Tomorrow's the day that we hit the plateau number 3. You know what I mean? And I gotta work my butt off because plateau 4 is a lot.
Gotta be even harder.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. Yep. It does tie in directly to the control thing, right? Because you're controlling your inputs and whatever you're doing, right? And if we break it into the seasons of life that we're in, and we want to have balance within the seasons of life that we're in, not a whole balanced life perfectly, because that's mythological bullshit. We're controlling everything that we're doing, right?
No. Sorry.
You're good.
That was the perfect window for an incredibly inappropriate and hilarious joke.
Yeah, tell me later.
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
But yeah, so I mean, oh man, the seasons of life we have, I do really love to take the time and focus on that, because often we'll be going through, even in times where we're putting active attention into what we're developing and working on and not doing this and we're focusing on this, give it 2-3 weeks, you're going to get distracted. Things are going to pop up in your life that are going to pull your attention away from the things that you're focusing on, whether it be work, whether it be family things, whether it be whatever. Like, there are going to be things that pull you away intentionally. And we were talking about this last night too. I think there is external forces that are always working against us, right? And I feel they are the most active when we are either doing horrible or when we are achieving things. When we're achieving things, they're trying to pull us right back down to neutral, because neutral, if you're just like living a meh kind of life, it's going to, we'll call it evil. The evil around you is going to kind of let you be because it doesn't care. You're just sustaining uselessness. Perfect. It has achieved its goal. If you're aiming for higher, it wants to drop you down a peg. If you're going down lower, it sees easy fruit to keep chucking at you. But man.
Have you read The War of Art?
The Art of War?
No, The War of Art.
No.
It's basically the evil you're talking about is resistance. And the harder you try to achieve, the more resistance comes into play.
Yeah.
And one of the... I should lend it to you. It's a... Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a great book. I read it like 10 years ago, and I'm actually in the middle of reading it now. Again.
Sure.
But it's all about achieving what you want to and the resistance, the evil that's going to combat you the entire time and why it combats you in certain areas, this and this and this. And yeah, and it's like, it's almost like super lazy and it has to go along with you and it doesn't want to work. So the more you're working, the more it's like it doesn't want to. So it's like, stop this, you know?
Pulls on you, right?
And it branches out. Like, let's say your loved ones, like the more you try to achieve, you know, it shows them, like it shows us when someone achieves a lot, the rest of us watching, in a way, at least partially, it shows us our inadequacies or our laziness, our lack of commitment to our potential, and it makes us feel bad. So instead of being like, I'm not really meeting my potential, it's easier to be like, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that, because I don't really want to do the work. I don't really want to achieve.
Yep.
So, hey, man, like, I love you. I don't think this is going to go anywhere. Like, believe me, trust me. Like, why don't you stop?
Yes. And to do the obligatory Jordan Peterson thing here.
Good.
The clean my room concept, right? Go clean your room. Just start doing that every day. And it's going to fruit some good things in you. It's a lot harder than you think it is. If you start doing that, to your point, what's going to happen is people are going to build a resentment around you. Unconsciously, just totally unconscious. As you become successful, if people are not wanting the best for you, because oftentimes people think they want the best for you, but as soon as you become what you're aiming towards and you improve and improve and improve, there is a sense of resentment that builds in people against you. So that kind of just like tears out I don't want to be as blunt as like good and bad people, but like the people that are good for your life and the people that don't understand how to be good for your life. I'll chalk it up like that. Because maybe they want to and maybe you want them to, but maybe they don't know how. And as you improve in your life, it's like it's pulling you down. I can think of a few people in my life who I would love to pull up with me, but as I continue, it gets further. The gap is just widening. And I would love to grab them and
like
pull them
you
with
and me, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. No, oh man. This is a weirdly good conversation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been enjoying this. It's yeah, totally no script, just all right, well, we got a minute and a half. What should we cover?
Existentialism of life.
Okay.
Are we even real? Now we're in a simulation.
Depends. What is real? What is life? It's a complicated topic.
Super complicated.
You don't know what that. No one knows what that means.
We can solve it in a minute. We got this.
Yep.
No, I have nothing of significance to continue on with, other than the fact that this is a good framing, because oftentimes I forget about these things, and we just do what we're doing in our day, and we don't make it a focus. But I really want to make a focus of, well, one, being present. Oh man, that's what I'd love to cover. Being present. That is my number one theme of this entire year. Is to be present, not past or future focused. Just being present focused. And that encompasses nearly everything we just talked about.
Maybe we'll cover that in the next time.
We should.
Tune in. Well, you know what, man? We still have 45 seconds, but I don't really want to stretch this out anymore.
Nope, we're good.
You know, it feels like
This is a natural ending.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Love you, bud.
Love it. All right, dude. That was fucking good.
That was so enjoyable.